Welcome, everybody, to another show of the Dirty 30s. Here with you always is Joshua and Brandon, and we're a couple guys that are going to talk to you tonight about life, what it's like being in our 30s, and all the fun stuff we do. But normally, Brandon and myself always talk about us. We talk about our shows, our movies, and everything that's going on in our lives, but not tonight. So, Brandon, are you as excited as I am?
I'm really excited, yeah.
We've got a big show tonight, and before we even get started, I have to preface this that tonight's show will not be PG. It's because we're going to drop some F-bombs, and we got two friends in the house with us tonight, so without further ado, let's just get right at it. So we have Robert and Sammy. How are you guys tonight?
Doing very well. Hey, guys, everybody.
All right. So for the viewers' sake, we'll just go to Robert first. Robert, say hello.
Hey, how are you doing? Robert McFletcher.
All right. And then Sammy?
Sammy Publes, pleasure to be on with you guys.
All right. You fans out there probably wondering what are these guys up to? Why are they on the show tonight? Well, these guys are two actors, right? And they're doing a big show in Grand Rapids very soon. So let's just get right into it. And the show, the reason why we're not going to be PG tonight is the show is called That Motherfucker in the Hat. Is that correct?
With the hat.
With the hat. All right,
Yep.
So even better. I can say it again. That motherfucker with the hat.
So, Sammy, are you the guy with? Are you the motherfucker with a hat?
No, but I'm the tonight. I'm the motherfucker with the hat.
All right.
No, I am not the motherfucker.
It's a great hat. I mean, if you were the motherfucker with the hat, that'd be the hat that I'd be thinking about. I mean, I don't know anything about the show or anything, but that's a sweet motherfucking hat.
I got hair envy, so I had to put the hat on.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. Tell us about the show and what this thing's all about.
Awesome. I'm Sammy Publes, Robert McFletcher, obviously. What happens is that a while back we had a conversation about joining forces. We're both thespians in the Grand Rapids area. I travel to Chicago and work a lot out of Chicago, and I have a bunch of credits out of there, Chicago PD, Chicago Code, those type of things. But I live in Grand Rapids, and I've always wanted to make art here in Grand Rapids and hopefully make a living one day. So the last show I was in called God of Carnage at Actors Theater. Robert came and checked it out. He approached me afterwards. Said, I really like your work. I said, I'm surprised to see another man of color in theater in Grand Rapids because there's like me and like another guy.
Or people of color in general in Grand Rapids, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And so, we just hit it off, man. And I had the idea for this script. It's not my script. It's Stephen Adley Gurgis. And I've done some of his work already in Chicago at Steppenwolf. And so I decided to actually do that script. I brought it to Robert, and he was on board. And then it's been a roller coaster ever since.
Awesome. Robert, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
So, born and raised Battle Creek, Michigan, have always had a feeling for the arts. Woo, Kellogg's.
Great.
Great. Okay. But I just really started tapping into performance, and I saw God of Carnage, and I was like, Sammy, your performance was mind-blowing. Like, I want to do what you do because I'm a singer. And so I love singing. That's where a lot of my credits are in, is musical theater and opera, performed with Grand Rapids Opera House, and have live recording at the Peabody in St. Louis, and done a lot of stuff with just different. This summer I just did Smoky Joe's Cafe, Mary Poppins, 42nd Street. So a lot of music, but I really, really wanted to learn how to act, and I felt like joining forces with somebody that is so strong and acting, I was like, we could really make something happen here. And so he's really taken, just really gone with and have made such a great effort towards making Mixed Roots Collective, which is officially an LLC. Woo woo! And our first performance is going to be the motherfucker with the hat. And it's great. It's really great because we have such a diverse cast doing such an in-your-face now type of script. It was just nominated for 6 Tony's Awards. I think it was in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it's really just a powerful script. And so that is my story of how I got here and where we are now.
Excellent, excellent.
You know what, Josh, this is really interesting because it sounds like how you and I started working together was because I was doing improv and acting and stuff like that, and then you were just doing music on the side, and then we needed a musician for our improv group, and we brought Josh in to play music for our for our shows, and turns out he was better at improv than a lot of people who were in the group. So we're like, well, hey man, screw the music, let's make some comedy. So it's pretty interesting.
It's a very parallel story between the four of us. It's like you guys are our mirror images right now. I think one of us needs to put a hat on, and we'd be comparable to each other. That's what Brandon's going to look like as he gets older.
That's right.
I've actually seen some of you guys' podcasts or live casts, and I remember you talking about your long hair. So I wonder if that's the hair that you have for the improv troupe. Was like, did you play all the rock and roll parts, all the Metallica references, all you?
It was. All through my 20s, I had the long Robert Plant curly hair and that whole thing. And so the improv, I was always in the characters, or always had to be the female characters whenever we needed one.
Be the lady.
Yeah. Always had to be the lady. We'd do like the dating game, and always had to be the girl. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the beard probably helped too. That was nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah. The ladies with the beards. That's what it's all about. So. Yeah. All right, so we can know a little bit about you guys. You've come together, joined some forces on the west coast of Michigan, and putting on this big play that's going to be opening up soon, August 21st, I believe, and it's at the Black Box Theater, and it's that motherfucker with the hat. Yep. And I'm assuming the hat in question is not the hat you're wearing right now. It's probably a different hat, and the play, maybe it is the hat. I don't know. The play is probably about something else. So why don't you just kind of, real quickly talk about the cast and the play, and kind of give us a setup for it. Don't give too much away. I want people to go see this thing, but give us a little setup.
Well, the first thing is that we started Mixed Roots Collective as part. The reason for Mixed Roots Collective, it's basically a collective of artists. Long-term vision is different disciplines of art coming together and just basically creating art. It just so happens that our first production is a theater production, but in the future we plan to do music and comedy and spoken word and those type of things. This show is actually a great partner with the Student Scholarship Fund here at Grand Rapids Community College, because we're actually going to donate some money, some of the proceeds, to the college theater fund, which is actually named after the director that's directing this play, who is Fred Cebulski. Fred Cebulski is a long-time, local legend here as far as directing wise. He started Actors Theater out of GRCC's campus as well back in the 80s, recently retired. But he's basically been my life mentor since I was about 18 years old. And his conversation's always been, if there isn't work for you out there, you need to create your own. You can't wait around for other people, just kind of how you guys have done as well with your show. But, you have to go out there and create something if there isn't something for you. And meaning that my type, for instance, I'm Cuban originally, so my type, I'm not going to get cast in a lot of local things because I don't fit that mold that they're looking for as far as actors are concerned. So I decided, hey, let's just do our own show and see what happens. And GRCC, or Grand Rapids Community College, has donated this space for us to perform. It's at on the second floor of the Spectrum Theater. So it's the Black Box Theater. It seats about 46 to 50 people, depending. And really, everything's been us doing it, from the flyers to the promotion to the marketing, putting the group of actors together. And we have some really great, talented people working with us. We have a young lady from Detroit named Angela Gallegos. She's playing the part of Victoria, Robert's wife in the show. Also, Jolene Frankie, who is an actress that has grown up in Grand Rapids since, she was a kid doing theater here, and now she's a director and choreographer. She's also in the show. She plays my girlfriend, Veronica, super talented as well. And Joe Worth is a gentleman who's playing Cousin Julio, another gentleman that we kind of just have gelled together as artists living in Grand Rapids. And they kind of bought into the idea of, hey, yeah, we should do art the way we want to do it. and not, you know, wait for this machine or that machine. We're just gonna create our own shit. And
That's exactly what you got. I mean, that's how we started doing film, because I was doing audition after audition, and it was the same thing over and over again. This guy who's got a sordid past, and he's trying to get away from it, but he's getting into drugs and, you know, guns and stuff like that. It was like the same thing over and over again. And, you know, truthfully, and comedy is really rare, you know, especially like in the local, you know, independent film scene. So if you want to do that, you really have to write it, produce it, film it yourselves. So, you know, kudos to you guys. That's exactly what you got to do.
Yeah, this story sounds vaguely familiar, with two guys getting together, starting their own company, making their own stuff. I like it. I feel like
There's a
obviously
reason
Brent
that
and
they
I,
tracked us down to talk to them, and I have a feeling
think
they're going
so.
to kill us and take our places.
no, see,
So if we come up missing, you know, this is our, here's my fingerprints.
well,
And
I don't think it's that direction. It's more like, you know, when Batman got Robin, and then when Batman got too old to be Batman, Robin takes over and becomes Batman, and the villains never know. So these guys are just going to slide right into our place, and people will not know whatever happened to Josh and Brandon, because these guys
We don't even look in it at all different. Nobody will ever know.
it's mirror images. I mean, and you guys sound just like it's
yeah,
perfect.
I'm gonna take your face
yeah,
off.
I got dibs on Brandon.
Yeah, I got Josh. I'm done.
Cool.
Yeah, nailed it.
We're good.
All right,
Okay.
before this show is over, we will all trade impressions of each other. But
There we
before
go.
we do that, so all right, so Robert, tell me about what character you're gonna be playing in that the motherfucker with the hat.
With the hat. So my name is Ralph D, and I am playing the sponsor of Jackie. So my character has been sober for the last 15 years, and he has been working hard on trying to keep it that way. And so it has really been, it is really, this character is very complex in a lot of ways, and which we'll find out throughout the show, which you should come see.
616-234-3946 for tickets.
But it's been a lot. It's been a huge journey, really, because with it's been a real journey, really, because as acting, you have to be so honest, and so with musical theater and opera, you can so get away with just singing your.
Wait a minute. In acting, you have to be honest? No one ever told me that. Since when do I have to be honest?
See, that's why we write parts for Josh where he plays an ex-musician who's like sleeping around with a lot of ladies, and you know, it's kind of hard to get along with, but you know, we didn't tell him that he's
got this webisode situation going on.
Right.
Exactly.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, touche. Okay,
Sorry,
continue.
I've been meaning to tell you that, Josh, for about 10 years now, but you know, cat's out of the bag.
I just thought I was a very method actor. I don't know.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
30 years before we wrote these rules for you, you decided, I'm going to kind of be a douchebag for 30 years, and then we're going to see it progress, and then you've lived the life, and you can walk in those shoes.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Stanislavski, that's what he...
Much
you know,
appreciated.
that was your first book.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
All right. So Robert. Okay. So you're playing the sponsor to the main character, which is Sammy's character, and you're trying to help him stay clean, and you're trying to take him hat shopping. Is that what's going on? Where's the hat come in? Explain the hat situation.
Well, you know, that's something that you'll have to come see. But I
all right.
Symbolic-wise, I think, because
Symbolic-wise.
everybody asks about the motherfucker with the hat. So the motherfucker with the hat is kind of he's the emblematic situation in your life that makes you turn and do different ways or change your path. He never makes an appearance in the show. He's just talked about, but he's the reason why all these changes begin to happen for Jackie in his life. He's the reason why.
Oh, I get it. He's the Obi-Wan Kenobi in this story, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir. And I know you like Star Wars a lot, such as myself. So yes, let me put it in your terms.
Yeah.
Yes. Obi-Wan Kenobi was the motherfucker with a hood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very nice, bro. That's nice. All right. So please continue. All right. So we don't want to know any more about the motherfucker with the hat. So we'll just get off that topic. And how big's the cast? How many people we got in the cast?
5. And then we got you know, the director Fred Sobalski. Kyle Lose is also co-directing the show. We have great people in the community that we build relationships throughout the years that are helping out as well. Ellie Francis, Mika Postman, Shelly Urbane. Am I missing anybody? I mean, it's just been a great.
Right.
Basically, I picked up the phone and I said, you know, these are the people I want to work with, and these are the people that would like help with stuff. Could you guys help me? And they were like, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
How did you know them? Just from other projects?
It's been fantastic. Yeah, so I came to Grand Rapids when I was 11 from Cuba, and then I, you know, went through high school, all of that. Went to CC, Grand Rapids Community College, and there I met Fred Sobalski. I also took classes with Shelly Urbane, who I just mentioned. And then throughout the years, as Fred prepared me then to go on to Western Michigan, and I graduated from there with my BA in acting or arts and sciences. And he also kept mentoring me throughout that process. And so after all these years, I would come back and do shows here in Grand Rapids locally with him. I mean, I think we've done like 6 or 7 shows now together. And so the rest of the community members were either people that we knew or that know Fred or that I've known professionally as well, because they are in the arts as well. So sometimes they'll direct me, or I'll be in a show and they'll be in a show. So that's how those relationships came about.
Excellent. And so, Robert, is this your first transition into theater, or have you done previous theater?
I've done previous theater work. This is actually my second play, though. My straight play, not gay, but you know, musicals.
In the theater world. In the theater world, a play that's not a musical is called a straight theater.
Right, straight, right. And so this is yeah. So this is my second straight play. A whirlwind of a play, and so grateful. His Gurgis's words are one that you have to hold dear to your heart, or it doesn't come off as reality. So it is. There's a lot of fucks. There's a lot of real life, but it's still human. It's still very human, and every person has dealt with these types of relationships, no matter what vernacular you're used to hearing.
Yeah.
And so, which is a great reason why to do this play and to be a part of the show and to come see it.
That's right. August 21st is opening night, 8 p.m. Correct?
Yes, sir. And to add a little bit, because there is a lot of fucks and motherfuckers and all this stuff. A lot of people that I approached with the script, you know, were basically afraid. They didn't want to do the show. There's too many cuss words. It's this, that, and the other. And what Robert was able to do is actually see through all of that. And Stephen Adley Gurgis, to me, he's like a modern day Shakespeare. I mean, his words, his dialogue has rhythm. It has a certain tempo. It's not just to say a cuss word. It's because this cuss word takes you to another moment that takes you to another moment. I did a show by him called Our Lady of 121st Street that has, I don't know, like 30 characters. It's crazy, but he's kind of like a urban poet when it comes to writing people that, and the New York Times said people from the gutter that are overlooked by the higher class, and he's really great at writing class dialogue, street dialogue, if you will. So even though there's a lot of motherfuckers and all these other things, the show's not about, you know, fuck this, fuck that. There's actually a lot of journeys through the show, a lot of realness with this dialogue that makes these characters even more real than just somebody just going to say, reading it and say, oh, this guy cusses a lot. Well, there's a reason why he does that, and it actually takes you through the story as well.
That's exciting. I've seen plays over in Grand Rapids, and I've been to a lot of stuff, and a lot of times people, they use cuss words that are written on the page, but it's forced when they say it. So you can get a good motherfucker out there, good shit, piss, you know, cock, bitch, whore, all that, and it just rolls off the tongue, and it goes with the flow, it doesn't distract.
Feels so fucking good. Yeah, it does.
Oh, he's practiced that. That's basically on his job interview as he runs through all the 7 ones. You missed the C one though.
Well, I was saving that, you know.
Yeah.
Brandon has got to think about him not cussing during the show. The last episode, I think he got away with 1. He was almost pretty good, but this episode, you shitted all over that record.
Here's the thing is just like Josh was saying, is I hate when people use cursing for emphasis, right? It's like, you know, when people are acting and it's like, oh, well, motherfucker. Like, they put such emphasis on that. And when you in real life, you don't do that. You just, like, motherfucker, I can't believe. Like, you don't put the emphasis on that, right? That's sort of your contraction. It's like the bridge between the two sentences. Right. So I hate to, like, and personally, like, just, you know, growing up in improv and doing our shows, I think it's more of a challenge to not swear sometimes in that setting, because it's really easy to, you know, oh, you know, bitch, you know, get your denim jacket off me. You know, I mean,
it's the cheap laughs, I think, at the end of the day. And I actually used to work with Second City in Chicago, and a friend of mine, Quentin Hicks, who's a Second City improv guy from Detroit, always told me that, and I always remember that for him. He was like, the longer you can go without cussing, the smarter you look. And that's because you don't need to rely on those type of things. Just use your vocabulary. And I'm fucking terrible at it, but he's good at it. But definitely, and the show is the same deal. It's not about the cuss words, and a lot of people, you know, even as we do the marketing, you know, well, I don't know if I want to review the show, or I don't know if I want to put your poster up and all these other things. They really don't understand, and that's not our crowd anyways. I think that's why they, you know, when he said Dirty 30s, I was like, and I researched you guys, like, I love these fucking guys. They're like us, because you guys, you know, you understand that this is not a shock factor. This is actual a play, a story, and you being a playwright yourself, you understand that if a playwright gets published with all these cuss words, it's for a reason. Right. It's not just because he was really great at fucking typing motherfucker and fucker and all this other shit. So
absolutely.
See, Brandon, that's all it took was two geniuses from Grand Rapids to finally catch on to what we are doing. I told you there are mirror images.
Yeah, there were. You know what? There was a lot of debate over the name. We're like, you know, it's gonna get a lot of hits. Yeah, it rhymes and it's fun to say, but is that really what we're about? And so there was like this big, you know, this period in the beginning where we were like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Are we just, you know, trying to like be dirty for the sake of it, or like, no, Dirty 30? That's just the name of, you know, that's just what you call your 30s, right? So, you know, I really appreciate that you guys understood what we were kind of going for there.
Well, now, look, you just tip of the day. That's awesome. Just the tip.
Damn it! I forgot about that.
Well, we got time. We got time for the tip of the day. Don't worry. So,
well, you guys. You guys, okay, so you guys got the poster there for there. I wanted to ask you, because Grand Rapids is, like, I think traditionally a really conservative place. Did you have to? Was that intentional to put the asterisks in? You know, or maybe you couldn't even, you know, put the real word in there.
No, actually,
hold up the poster as you're talking so people can see it.
Actually, so what happened was the rights, when you purchase the rights to the play, they give you different ways that you can market the actual show. And so for me to be able to market in different places, I said, well, I'm just going to use the asterisk. If it was my own theater or another theater that here locally, for instance, Actors Theater in Grand Rapids is known for doing a lot of controversial things, you know, in the past, or doing things that they just pretty much is art, and you deal with it however you want to. If I was working with them, I probably wouldn't have, you know, italicized it or you know, put the stars in it. But since it's our own company, I don't want to push people away that might be turned off by a simple word.
Right.
You know, the message is what's important on this show, and so it's almost an afterthought now. Yeah, it's the mother effer with the hat. Let's move on. So your question, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, absolutely. It's way funnier with the asterisks, or at least more eye-catching. If you actually put fucker on the billboard, people are like, yeah, whatever, you know. But having the asterisks are like, oh, yeah, that's the dirty word I'm not supposed to think and say, so let's go see that. So
exactly.
Very
Less
nice.
is more.
I like it.
That's what we thought. Hopefully that's the mentality that everybody has as well when they come to it, and you know, and they see the poster, because again, it's just challenge to market a show like this, you know, without doing, you know, like a scene in the middle of the street and people, hey, you know, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
So what kind of set do you guys have? Is it a really minimalist set? Is it a really robust one? Like, what are you guys working with?
Funny you should mention that. We're actually here now. We're going to use a lot of cubes. We are going to use some props, but that's mostly like eating. You know, we're doing breakfast together. It's just going to be all minimalist, all cubes. There's beds, sofas, those type of things. Those are all going to be black cubes. And we're also going to project the location of the settings for the first time that we enter these places. Three different settings. Basically just project onto a black screen, say, you know, Ralph D's house or apartment, and then Veronica's apartment. And I think for us, that works because this is a black canvas, and everything else that goes on there, like just like painting, will be our flavor, will be our paint. Even the smallest props, that's what's gonna bring the story together. It's not so much, obviously, when you come to theater, sometimes I hate it when people try to force you to believe.
Right.
It's like, I know I'm in a place that it's not my home, and I'm watching people act. I get it. So this way, I think it's like we recognize the audience is going to be coming in, but come in and take a trip with us and kind of join into our little adventure as we eat these eggs or as we do whatever.
Right, and it also leaves a place for it to just stay raw. His story is what really matters, and the message between the actors and us communicating. And so that sometimes we get so distracted of what it actually looks like that we lose what was really the point of coming to the show.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like us when we did improv, but the different, because we had to be really good at our space objects because our story was shit because we were making it up as we went. And you know, everything in improv needs a rewrite. So it's like we had to be really good with carrying our eggs and drinking and not dropping our stuff and all that. But yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. So you guys are gonna do like an improv player's dream, is that you have a structured area, but you're gonna play within the space and let the audience's imagination. I always find that fun too, because now the audience is gonna watch you guys and they're gonna hear the words, but they're gonna interpret in their own mind the vision of what it's supposed to look like. And that's like listening to an album for the first time and not seeing any shitty music videos, is you get to interpret it for yourself and what you think it looks like. So that's really cool. I like that.
A lot more intimate because, like, you know, the chairs are like right up on top of you, right? If you had a kitchen, a bedroom, and stuff like, there's no way you could do that. And like, furthermore, it's actually more challenging, right? To not have all of that stuff. You have to really be in the moment and, you know, conjure that stuff for yourself so that you can help the audience see that. So that's, I mean, I actually prefer that, to be honest.
You know, at the end of the day, it's about the words, as Robert is stating, and you as a performer, if people are looking at what the chair is made out of or what color that thing, you are failing as a performer.
Right. Because
you no longer have these people's attention.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, in a lot of theater that I watch, I wish the same, is just go back to the basics, man. Just tell me the story. Let me watch the story. Let me see how it develops. Let me see this guy's journey. I don't care if you have a fountain that pops out of the middle and you spend 20 grand to do it. It doesn't tell me any more about the story. I could have pictured that in my head, you know?
Absolutely.
So is this
tries to be too much like TV, and the problem with theater being like TV, that theater is not TV. You know, people are not going into this thing thinking, wow, let me see what flying carpet is going to come out, or a dragon. Nobody cares about that. Just tell me the story, man. Touch my heart.
Yeah, but if you had a dragon that came out in a hat, that'd be pretty sweet.
It would be pretty big.
Did you spoil it for them? Why you tell them?
Motherfucker.
That's the motherfucker with the hat.
Yeah.
Damn it. Only for the first week, folks. Don't expect it the second week. We can't afford it.
Those dragons are expensive as shit. Yeah.
Speaking of journeys, you should tell about your journey.
My journey?
With Jackie, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the journey with Jackie, man, it's just, like I said, I've worked with Steven's words before. I got to perform Our Lady of 121st Street in Chicago, and I actually got to meet him. He actually came to one of the wrap-up parties or something like that. And I've always identified with his characters. They just, to me, they flow. Another show that I did, Jesus Hopped the A-Train, here with Fred Sobalski at Actors Theater about 6 years ago. It was about a young kid who gets mixed up, goes to jail, and then, you know, comes out of there all twisted up. And it just seems like his characters speak to me a lot. You know, and not that I've ever been incarcerated, but the struggles in the streets and the vernacular and the situations, to me, have always been easy to jump into right away into those characters. And Jackie has been no different. And sometimes I kind of hate saying that because it makes it sound like I'm lazy. Like, oh yeah, it's very easy. But I think you get that with some scripts. They just speak to you. You don't have to do a ton of research. And what with this character thing, you know? Once the page speaks to you, sometimes it just speaks to you. And Jackie's just spoken to me, you know, anger-wise and living life and turning the page and just moving on. There's a lot of Jackie in me in my early 20s and early 30s, and you know, and now that I'm, you know, 37, I can look back and say, wow, I remember I was like this, or I was this character. So I love my character. I mean, I'm in love with Jackie. I think he's a beautiful person, great heart. You know, he's just trying to, just like we do, you know, every day, just trying to make it one day at a time, man. Just let's get through today and see what tomorrow brings.
You know, that is all we can do in the world, just one day at a time.
One day, just one day at a time.
That's fucking, I mean, that's actually a line from the play.
It is.
And he says, that's fucking, I mean, a day at a time used to mean
one day.
It don't mean fucking that, Ralph.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So earlier we were talking to you, Robert, and you mentioned you've done a plethora of musicals and being a vocalist and all that. So without blowing out the computer, you want to give us a little flavor, just a little something to show the fans your skills?
You should have told them you were a plumber.
If you were a plumber, you'd be changing your toilet right now. Now you're a singer, so stand up and make this happen.
Okay, so you have to do some improv while we at it too.
This whole show has been improv because so we'll spill the beans to the fans while he's going to warm up his vocal cords. Is Brandon and I have not talked to these gentlemen at all. I talked to them for literally 5 seconds when we got this thing set up and we went live. So this whole show is improv. So, you know, I did my part. Brandon will do his part in a little bit, so we need you to do your part right now. And so be loud, be proud, and show us some musical vocal stylings from Mr. Robert.
Absolutely. If you're at home watching this right now, if you just turn down the lights just a little bit, not much, it's going to get really sexy here in 2 seconds. Coming to the stage, folks, vocal stylings of put your hands together in a clapping motion for Robert McFletcher. Hit him with something.
All right. We'll do classical, and then we'll switch to pop music randomly. There's an old man called Mississippi. That's the old man that I'd like to be. What does he care if the world's got troubles? What does he care if the land ain't free? You don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I just want your body, baby. From dusk till dawn.
Tell him, Robert.
Yeah, you don't need experience to be my girl. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there you go.
Very nice.
Robert McFletcher, people. Robert McFletcher.
Now, we just got a message from Prince, and he is super pissed.
Yeah.
He is suing us for a lot, but you know that's why we don't use our last names. And
It's
all good.
Just use the symbol. I love you, Prince. I love you. Call me.
That one's going to cost me.
Won't be the first time. So
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Prince is always suing us. Son of a gun.
All the time. Son of a bitch. Very nice. Do you perform regularly, locally, in any musical bands, groups?
Sammy actually got to see my one-man show. I created a one-man show. That's another way we started meeting. I created a one-man show called God, I Hope I Get It, which was my journey as an African-American male into theater. My background is actually in administration. I have an undergraduate degree in public administration. My master's is in higher education administration. And I thank God, had teachers at Grand Valley, Dale Streamer, who said, you know what, you can sing, make it happen, and try. And so for the last year and a half, I've just been performing, and that is what my love is. And so that show was about the last year and a half journey of auditioning and what it means to be black in theater, and just a male, and really learning how to diversify who I am and just being me. And the reality is that is enough. And
yeah,
so,
absolutely. That's really cool. Like, that's another thing we have in common, because I've been spending the last 35 years doing my one-man show that is called My Life. It's, the life and times of a black man in America.
yes,
And,
yes.
it's on the inside, you know. I don't know.
It's very, very exclusive
Yeah.
tickets to see that show.
You got to just hang out with me 24/7, and which is what Brandon's been trying to get me to film My Life for forever, because I tell him my life is just a one-man show. I'm just constantly performing all day long, and it just becomes a lot of work. So, but no, all kidding aside, so no, that's really cool. That's something I've actually wanted to do. That's what got Brandon started about me filming My Life, is doing a one-man show. Very John Leguizamo, another Cuban, very talented Cuban, and so that's really appealing.
Thank you. We'll
I'm
take
sorry.
him. He's not Cuban, but we'll take him.
I thought he's Puerto Rican. That's right.
No, neither one. He's like Ecuadorian and Nicaraguense, something like that.
Okay.
He's further South America. But we'll take him, though. We need everything. Baseball players. Our rosters is full of baseball players right now. A couple trumpet players. But we'll take John any day. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right. So I think Brandon needs to do a one-man show about his kids. I think that would be interesting to watch. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't think anyone would be interested in that anywhere, because if you have kids, you know what it's like. If you don't have kids, you don't need to know what it's like, nor do you want to.
I do think that you need to do a show about your disappointment about the show, because I watched your shows before. The Mother one, the CBS show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are really upset about that ending, and it kind of, as I was watching you, I was like, we need to make a whole film about this,
Right.
because it was a terrible ending. He invested all this time into it. I gave up on that show like 2 years ago, so I'm glad. You know, if your disappointment, my disappointment would have been flipping tables. And
Yeah, exactly. You did the right thing, you know.
yeah, I quit. I was out.
For me, I could go on and on about any show, because that's Josh is out, playing playing the guitar and talking to lovely ladies, and I'm at home watching 16 episodes on my DVR in one night.
Oh.
So that's my life.
No, I like that. Thank you. That sounds like a beautiful life, sir. I have two daughters myself. That is a beautiful life you're living.
It absolutely is, and it's all about balance, right? It's hard, man, to chase your passions, to pay your bills, and to be a good spouse, parent, stuff like that. How do you do it, man? It's tough.
Well, and really that kind of goes back, kind of brings it full circle to why we wanted to do the Motherfucker with the Hat and Mixed Roots Collective. Part of my gripe through many years is that in Grand Rapids, I always have to leave to make money. I always have to leave the city to make a living, and I have to go to Chicago, which is great. I love Chicago. I lived there a few years, and my agency's still there. But when you're in town, sometimes you see these smaller theaters that have really big budgets for, their sets, and they're paid the directors, $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is, but the actors are working for free.
Right.
I've never really understood that. Like, if we have money for production value, why don't we have money for these people who are sacrificing 6-8 weeks out of their year? And really, a lot of time when you've been in this community for so long, you develop a following. So really, these people are bringing in more butts in the seat. And so part of the Mixed Roots Collective, our goal at the end is to basically take all the money that we make. We're going to take care of everything that we have to pay to get the show on, like the rights, props and things like that. Whatever's left is going to be split amongst all the artists, actors, directors, props, lighting designers, sound designer. Everybody's going to get an equal cut of the total pot after ticket sales are done.
That's fantastic. I can't tell you how many. You remember when the Michigan Film Incentives were really hot a few years ago, and they were bringing all kinds of Hollywood big productions here, and people like myself. I've only did a couple of them, but you donate basically a 14-hour day, and there's a couple that I did no food the entire day, no breaks, and then we filled out our addresses to get our checks and stuff. They never came, and you check about that later, and that LLC is no longer in business. So it's that it's one of the realities of being in a smaller town, a smaller not L.A., New York, Chicago, any of the big ones. And you've got to do that, but kudos to you guys, because that's the right way. That's the right thing to do, right? People are giving you their talent, their time away from their families. That's the right thing to do.
And I think Grand Rapids as a whole, like I said, I grew up here. I've lived here for 26 years. As a whole, I think it's changing in the art culture. I mean, we have obviously Art Prize, which is the big event here every year. But there's a lot of great theater going on in the city, period.
Right.
Whether it is at Circle Theater, or Civic Theater, or Jewish Theater, or Heritage, or South Side Theater, Rap.
Story is University Wits. There's a lot of
everybody's doing great things. We just decided to take that formula and just say, after all the bullshit, after all the bills are paid, what can we make for each other? How can we support each other to continue to create art? And Grand Rapids is a great city to do that, especially in this time right now. We just felt like it was just a right moment for us to put this out. And I know we're going to get great support from the community. I mean, people have already been reaching out on Facebook, emails, and that type of thing. So, we just can't wait to put on the project and let people really, enjoy it.
Right.
Or not enjoy it. Who knows?
Who cares? I mean, it's to each their own. They can decide what they want. And, it's super, super exciting there. And Grand Rapids is a boom town for theater, small theater groups, and a lot going on. It's the only city in Michigan with that many per capita small theater groups, a lot of plays happening all the time. Lansing can't even touch that. Detroit, I mean, no one even lives in Detroit anymore. So, and then, that's all Michigan's known for. So that's really cool. I'm really excited for you guys. So it's Mixed Roots
Collective.
Mixed Roots Collective is the company, so people can go check that out. Of course, there'll be links after this show, and you guys can look into it. And if you're someone that
an LLC,
that is correct.
For donations.
Yeah. Please, if you want to donate,
give them money. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Give them money so Prince can sue them instead of me.
We're coming for you. This is your fault.
If we're going to pay Prince, we need to start raising funds like 2 years ago.
Right.
No, but if you go to our Facebook page, so the other thing that we try to do innovative wise is not go through a lot of these like Kickstarter and all these other things. The reason for that, those are great, if you're raising $6,000–7,000. But we just didn't feel like that was our goal. We don't want to have all this money because that's just extra money that we're not using. So we're not trying to fill our pockets with all this. Look at our money. So what we do, and this is true and honest, if you would like to donate to Mixed Roots Collective, you can look us up on our Facebook page, which is Mixed Roots Collective. Just search and you'll see us there. We can send you our PayPal information, and you can send money that way. Again, we're an LLC, so it's also tax deductible for you. We just didn't want to go like this ultra big way of like, GoFundMe or Kickstarter. At the end of the day, they take a percentage anyways. We're already broke. We don't need nobody else taking more money. So if you want to donate, just contact us and we'll hook it up.
Right, especially since our big thing is collaboration.
Absolutely.
And as we move forward, we want to continue to, if it's spoken word, if it's music, if it's anything. So we want to, because that's the whole point of Mixed Roots. We're trying to diversify the community and bring people together. And
that's very exciting, because to know that the money is not only going to these projects, but it's going to the people behind the projects, and it's getting distributed equally for everyone's input and hard work. So that's actually really exciting. Brandon and I, we started our stuff way before Kickstarter or online, being able to collect money and all that. And all our money came from me working my ass off all day, taking pictures and running a studio in order to make movies and everything else. So it's really cool that everyone does that. But nothing pisses me off more than when I see a celebrity using Kickstarter to do any kind of project, because they're already connected. They already know so many people with money they can get from them. Nothing bothers me more than an artist asking their fans to fund a project that they're going to turn around and sell right back to them.
Yeah.
So,
well, but here's the other correct to that. Nothing pisses me off more than a guy making a stupid salad and people give him $25,000. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me either.
Right.
How much lettuce can you buy?
That's right.
What are you eating with this?
Well, see, the thing that pisses me off about that is I didn't think of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
We're always
there's
a little too late on those things.
vegetables. I've been telling you for years.
Yeah. All right, so it's that part of the show now that seems to be one of your guys' favorite parts. So if you would like, I will let you guys introduce this segment of the show, and I'm going to drag my feet just a little bit and set this up properly. So without further ado, Sammy and Robert, I think you have an idea what I'm talking about, so you can lay it down, if you will.
3, 2, 1.
Just the tip of the day.
Wow. Now I feel like I got to deliver because usually I get a really shitty intro. So.
Thanks.
You know he can still hear you, right?
I block him out so much that it's, just second nature. All right, well, the tip of the day today I think is really easy. If you are in Michigan, the Lower Peninsula, anywhere, maybe even you want to come down from the UP, come down through Chicago, or you want to go around, the scenic route, go along Lake Michigan, down, good old Saugatuck, and I don't know my geography very well, but go see Motherfucker with a Hat in Grand Rapids. And if you know what, we've actually got a lot of. Yep, there's a poster right there. There we go. Motherfucker with a Hat in Grand Rapids, and truthfully, we've got a lot of fans who are out of state, and we've actually got a lot in India for some reason. I'm not sure why, but we love our Indian fans. If you don't live in an area where you can go see the Motherfucker in the Hat in Grand Rapids, go see a local production, and I'm not talking about a Broadway production that comes through your town. I'm talking about a local, small production like this, where it's people who are from your community, the people that you may work with. Give them your money, give them your attention, and support the local arts.
That is an awesome tip.
And,
yes.
My favorite.
I want to audition. I want to be the motherfucker with the hat. This is my audition to be the motherfucker with the hat.
I'll give you a line real quick. Say motherfucker, but without the ER.
I'm sorry, I missed that. My connection was a little broken, so could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. For the audition, say motherfucker, but no ER. Just put an A at the end. See what that sounds like. How that grabs you.
Oh, motherfucker. Shit, what are you talking about, bro? It's like motherfucker.
Robert, I'm sorry, Robert.
Shit, motherfucker. Yeah, easy.
You sound so terrible.
I can give your theater, and that sound really white. Was that just like crazy white? Instead of like motherfucker. Hey, motherfucker. In the hat, you
motherfucker.
For the audience out there, this is Robert's last day because now I think we have a new actor.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have to let you go.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing the
right. I'm stealing a role.
I'll be on that podcast though.
Yes.
We'll trade.
I'm tired of carrying the weight for both me and Josh. I need someone who can sing Prince and got those lips, man.
A Freaky Friday situation. You're just gonna switch with that.
Done.
I think you're onto something. And there was something that Brandon and I talked about a little while back. Is there was some talks about taking our first movie, Last Night Out, and turning it into a theater production. And I've decided that the two of you would be perfect to play Brandon and Joshua in that production. I think that would, when I wrote that movie, I had a Cuban guy that looked like DMC from Run DMC in mind, and then I had Robert in mind that could sing so beautifully in mind. So it's like now it's going to come to fruition right before my very eyes.
Timing, because we've been discussing what our next project is going to be.
There you go.
And we no longer have to think we're going to be unemployed in the next couple of months. We have a gig.
Thank you. Nailed it. Thanks so much.
Perfect. All right, so we want to thank our guests, Sammy and Robert tonight. They're going to be Motherfucker Motherfucker, and it premieres August 21st at 8 o'clock. And you guys are running, how many dates are you guys going to do? I think it was quite a bit, right?
Well, we're doing 6 dates, August 21st, 22nd, 23rd, then 28th, 29th, and 30th. That's 8 p.m. The address is 160 Fountain Northeast. You can also call for tickets at 616-234-3946. You can also reach us on Facebook, Mixed Roots Collective on Facebook, also our Gmail, mixedrootscollective@gmail.com as well.
Yep.
And there'll be plenty of links to this episode with all that stuff, so anybody that missed it. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to have to leave my undisclosed location and get my ass to Grand Rapids on the West Coast to see myself with the motherfucker with the hat. So,
I hope the Taliban lets you out because you look like you're in a deep situation right now.
That's what I've been trying to tell him, man.
Whatever you did, I'm sure you deserved it.
I earned it, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. So hopefully Brandon will get over there and check it out as well. Hey, you never know when Brandon and Josh will show up at a production. So
we got free tickets for you guys, man. We'll just take donations. We'll get you guys free tickets. Come on down.
There you go.
All right. Well, much appreciated. Thank you very much, Sammy and Robert. And as always, I am Josh and Brandon. It's been a pleasure once again. And your tip of the day was excellent. And yeah, you got anything else?
And that's it, man. Motherfucker.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll see everybody next time on the Dirty 30s.